Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Financial Fridays. On this channel we talk about mental health on every Tuesday, financial health every Friday, and randomly I give you a sneak peek of my lifestyle. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, please be part of the family. Join us by subscribing, liking and sharing this video, and always come for more. If you're a returning subscriber, I'm always thankful for you. Thank you for being here and thank you for always coming back. Today is Friday and I am here to talk about debt and how to pay debt. This video is gonna be straightforward and straight to the point because it's paying debt and we know we all have to pay debt. So I'm going to talk about methods that I think that are beneficial in paying off debt, because like I've said, a lot of us have accumulated debt throughout, and sometimes when we look at our debts we see a mountain, a never-ending mountain. I'm here to say that one road to financial freedom is getting our debts paid off. Because if you're on your way to financial freedom and you still have debts that are accumulating interest, then you might never get to that financial freedom, because you'll always have interest and you'll always pay the debts, and they might be a burden, they might be an obstacle to financial freedom, to early retirement. So I'm here to show you a method that I think that I've seen and I believe that works really well when paying debt. This method is called the snowball method. I know some of you have heard about it, and I do the snowball method, but I do mine with a caveat. Most people who do the snowball method, they do it while not focusing on other things. What I'm about to tell you here is like, you can do your snowball debt paying method while saving, while investing. You can do both of them at the same time. Yes, it's possible, and that's what I'm going to talk about here. So what is the snowball method? The snowball method is a method of paying debts, starting with the lowest debt, paying up to the highest debt. You start paying your lowest amount of debt, of credit first. You work your way up to your highest debt. Some people will ask, how can you do that? You know, every debt has a different interest rate, and the lowest might have the lowest interest rate, while the highest debt, the debt that you have a lot of money on, has the highest interest debt. So it's only natural, it's only efficient to pay something with a higher interest versus the one with a lower interest. No, yeah, that might seem efficient, but let me show you an example here. If you have, let's say you have these two debts, you have the lowest, I'm looking at the lowest and the highest debt, and in between you have other debts. Let's say you have a debt of $500 and you have another debt of $20,000, and your interest rates for the $20,000 is like, let's say 8%, and this interest rate for 500 is something like 1% or something really minor. So it will make sense for you to pay that higher debt with a higher interest rate versus these 500. But if you look at it, how long will it take you to pay off 20,000 versus paying off 500? If you look at it that way, you'll be like, paying off 500 will take me a much shorter time than paying off the 20,000, and that's how the snowball method comes in. The snowball method comes in where you start with your lowest debt, despite the interest rate, despite any other things around it, you paid off. If you're like me, I celebrate every little win. I celebrate every little win. If I tell you every little win, I celebrate everything. I celebrate posting a video on YouTube. I celebrate when I submit an assignment if I'm going to school. I celebrate every little win. I celebrate on my Fridays after work. I'm like, oh, thank God I made another week. So every little win to me is celebrated, and I look at it as a big thing. So when you're paying off debts, if you start with a $20,000 debt, if you have something like that, it might take you longer, and you will feel like you're just paddling at the same area, the same spot. You're not moving forward. You're cycling at the same spot. You're not moving forward. But if you start paying the little one first, pay off 500. When you're done paying off the 500, that's something to celebrate, and it's a win, and you're like, oh, it's over. So it looks like you have lesser debts. Let's say you have 5 debts that you have to pay, and you finish 500. Then you move to the next one. When you finish that, you celebrate, and slowly but surely you will just have that 120,000 debt that you will have to pay, and you'll probably be psyched to finish paying it up. So how do you do this? When you pay these 5, when you start paying the snowball method, you have to still keep paying the required minimum for other debts. So if you have 5 other debts, and as the first one, which is the 500, you have to pay these are the minimum debts every month, while anything extra that you have remaining, any extra money, you put on to 500. So as soon as you're done, let's say the 500 had a minimum payment of $20, and every month you add another $80, so you pay $100 every month. So when you're done in 5 months, you'll be done with the 500. Let's say no interest or no other charges include. So in about 5 months, you will be done with the 500. So you are putting $100 every month to the 500. And then the next debt, let's say you had the next debt up was $1,000, and you were paying like $40 to that. 1,040 was the minimum a month. So you were paying the 500, 100, but you were paying $40 and every other minimum. So when you are done with this 500, when you celebrate, oh yes, I'm done with that, you don't say, oh yes, I'm done with that, now I have $100 every month extra to keep or to get wants or things that I don't really need. You check the whole $100, and you had to the $40 that goes to the $1,000, and now you have $140 every month to pay towards the $1,000. So when you pay the $1,000, $140 every month, by the time you're done with the $1,000, the next debt forward, you had the 100 from the one that was the 500, the 40 from the 500, so that's 140, and then the minimum for the other debts, and then you keep paying that way. You see how it goes? It really sounds complicated, but it's not. So you keep paying that way until you get to your biggest debt. By the time you get to your biggest debt, you'll actually be paying a bigger chunk of money towards the bigger debts, because you'll be accumulating, you'll be collecting all these minimums on top of the extra ones that you're able to put in, and then you will be paying it towards the 20,000. And the extra one doesn't have to be a constant. For example, in my example, it doesn't have to be 80 constant. Anything extra you can put a month. Like I say, it's advisable to pay off everything that you've used that month, but anything extra you can throw in, just throw in $1 there, $5 there, anything will help you clear the debt. But number one, so let's say you've done that, the number one thing you should do before you even start the snowball is write your debts and arrange them from the smallest to the biggest, and then you start snowballing them the way I've said. It's like a snowball rolls back, gathering more snow as it goes down the hill. That's why they call it the snowball method. So I've said that you've understood the snowball method. What I'm saying here, people generally focus on paying debts, and they stop savings, they stop investing, because they're focusing on this. So how do you snowball your debts while investing? This comes with another one. Something has to give. So you have to look for an extra source of income, or you have to maybe pick up overtime at work, or get some extra money to continue saving. First of all, like I always say, you have to pay yourself first. So after, paying yourself should be part of your budget, part of bills. You should put that part of bills so that you never ever go without paying yourself, and then that money you use it for investing. But on top of that, you should have other money to invest on. You should have an extra amount of money to always put aside to save and invest. So if you paying a debt, snowballing your debt will take away from savings and investment, then you will have to look for other forms of getting an additional income somehow, or something has to give. But in my belief, in my philosophy, in my I should say, I believe that you can always snowball and save and invest at the same time. You can pay debts while saving and investing at the same time. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you can do both. You have to put your mind to it. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, this is gonna be straightforward, short and sweet, and I will see you on the next one next week. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. Like, share, comment, and always come back for more. Thank you so much. Bye.